Most people think the danger starts when the intruder enters the room. It doesn't. The real danger happens earlier, in the first few seconds, before you've even fully understood what's happening. A sound you don't recognize, a door you didn't open, a moment where your brain is still trying to catch up to reality. That moment is where most people fail. Not because they're weak, not because they're careless, but because their mind was never trained for it. And that failure compounds very fast. Most people believe something comforting. They believe that when something serious happens, they'll suddenly become focused, alert, decisive. They imagine themselves switching modes, but real stress doesn't work like that. Under sudden threat, the brain doesn't speed up, it narrows. Your world shrinks, your thinking slows, your body reacts before your logic does. This is why so many people freeze, why they hesitate, why they lose time they can't afford. And in a home invasion, time is everything. Not strength, not courage, time. The first 30 seconds decide how the next 5 minutes go, and most people waste them without realizing it. To understand why, you need a different way of thinking about danger, not as a fight, not as a test of bravery, but as a sequence of decisions under pressure. This is where most advice fails people. It jumps straight to actions without explaining what's happening mentally. So instead, we're going to break this down into 3 phases. Not steps, not tips, phases. Each phase has one job, and when people skip or misunderstand a phase, everything after it collapses.
Phase 1. Recognition. This is the phase almost nobody trains for. Recognition isn't about hearing a noise. It's about accepting what the noise means. Most people don't fail because they didn't hear something. They fail because they argued with themselves. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe I imagined it. It's probably just the house. That internal debate is deadly, because while your brain is trying to stay comfortable, time is passing. This hesitation doesn't come from stupidity. It comes from normal human psychology. Your brain is wired to preserve normalcy. It resists sudden shifts into danger because those shifts are exhausting. So instead of acting, it delays. And in those seconds, you lose initiative. The people who survive stressful events don't have better reflexes. They have faster acceptance. They decide early, this is real, I will act. That decision alone can save half your time. Here's what usually goes wrong in phase 1. People wait for certainty. They want confirmation, a second sound, a clearer sign. But by the time certainty arrives, you're already behind. The correct mindset isn't certainty, it's probability. You're not asking, am I sure? You're asking, if this is real, what should I be doing right now? That shift changes everything, because it moves you from debate to action.
Phase 2. Delay. This phase is misunderstood. Most people think delay means hiding or locking themselves in a room. But delay starts earlier than that. Delay means creating friction. Anything that slows progress, anything that forces effort, anything that buys seconds. The mistake people make here is trying to do too much. They run. They grab random objects. They change plans mid-action. Under stress, complexity destroys you. Your brain can't manage 5 ideas at once when adrenaline hits. It will drop most of them. That's why people forget phones, forget exits, forget simple actions. Effective delay is boring. It's simple. It's repetitive. It's intentional. The goal isn't to stop someone. It's to slow the situation down enough for options to appear. Every second you buy reduces pressure. Every second gives your brain room to work again. Here's the critical insight. Delay is not physical strength, it's environmental thinking. Homes already have barriers, doors, corners, narrow spaces, but most people don't see them as tools. They move randomly instead of moving with their environment. People who panic move fast but poorly. People who survive move deliberately. They let the house do the work for them. Phase 3. Distance. This is where many people make the worst mistake. They think distance means running as far as possible. It doesn't. Distance means separation from danger. That can mean space. It can mean barriers. It can mean locked time. Distance buys clarity, and clarity brings control back. When distance increases, panic decreases. This is where your thinking comes back online. This is where you stop reacting and start choosing. But if you skip phase 1 or rush phase 2, you never reach this point properly. You stay trapped in chaos. Now let's talk about why the first 30 seconds matter more than anything else. Those seconds determine which phase you're actually in. If you hesitate early, you compress all 3 phases into one panicked moment. Recognition, delay, and distance collapse into confusion. That's when people make irreversible mistakes. Not because they lacked courage, but because they lost structure. Structure is what stress destroys first. This is why mental preparation matters more than physical preparation. You don't need complex plans, you need a default sequence. One recognition decision, one delay action, one distance goal. When stress hits, your brain will follow the strongest path it knows. If that path is vague, you freeze. If that path is simple, you move. Here's something most people never consider. You don't rise to the level of your intentions, you fall to the level of your preparation. And preparation doesn't mean obsessing over danger. It means removing uncertainty. When you already know how you'll recognize a problem, when you already know how you'll slow it down, when you already know how you'll create distance, you stop negotiating with fear. You act. Most failures in home invasions aren't dramatic. They're quiet. A few seconds of doubt, a pause that felt reasonable, a moment of wait and see, and then the situation outruns the person. The goal isn't to be fearless. The goal is to be decisive early. Decisions get harder the longer you wait. This is the core idea this channel will keep coming back to. Survival isn't about fighting. It's about thinking clearly when clarity is hardest. It's about using time intelligently, using space intentionally, and letting structure replace panic. If you understand the first 30 seconds, the rest of the situation becomes manageable. Preparation isn't paranoia. It's calm. It's knowing that if something unexpected happens, you won't waste time asking the wrong questions. You'll already be moving. And that alone puts you ahead of most people.